So in the past year or so, smart home devices have become more and more diverse and nuanced in terms of feature and design, and I think that some consumers may be a little confused as to which one suits them best. And in light of that, we're doing an ultimate showdown today between what Amazon and Google have to offer under $150. I think that product demographic is what people are going out and buying in store anyway. So we're going to be doing a versus video between the Google Home Hub, the Google Home Mini, the Amazon Echo Dot, and the Amazon Echo Spot. So we will be comparing and contrasting these four products in 6 categories, and I would say the one that takes the majority of the wins, or appears in most of the wins, as there will be some ties here, it will, I guess, win this contest. Does it mean that it's the best of the smart home devices? No, especially because there's going to be some price gaps. We're talking about $30-ish devices versus $100 to $130 devices. And at the end of the day, just keep in mind that there is no one-size-fits-all winner here. There will be one device that will suit you best in regard to the features available and the price. So just keep that in mind once again. So the first category we're going to be talking about is design, and I'll just tell you, none of these devices are ugly. They're all easy on the eyes, and they'll fit into your household really nicely, whichever one you get, and really wherever you put them. Beginning with the Google Home Mini, it has a nice Pebble-esque design with a cloth cover, which will really go anywhere you put it. It also has a nice touch input for the volume and LED indicators, which animate depending on what you're doing with the device. Next up, we got Echo Dot, which features a kind of sandwich plastic design with a wraparound speaker, physical input buttons on the top, a really nice looking LED indicator which animates when you use the device, and not to forget to mention a built-in headphone jack if you're not a fan of the built-in audio. Next up, moving into the bigger devices, we have Google Home Hub, which kind of looks like a neutered Android tablet slapped onto a bigger or beefier speaker. It's okay looking. It's not like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's more utilitarian, if anything. And lastly, we have the Echo Spot, which kind of consolidates all of its components into one softball-sized body with a really cool looking circular display, which offers interesting UI elements, which we'll discuss later in this video. And not to forget to mention, this device also has a headphone jack, so if you're not a fan of Amazon's built-in audio, you can attach whatever speakers you want directly. So having said all this, once again, these devices are easy on the eyes. They will really go anywhere you put them in your house. But in my humble opinion, I think that the Echo Dot looks the best with its really awesome sandwiched plastic wraparound speaker design, especially with that really cool LED indicator. I think it looks super futuristic and clean. The second runner-up, I would say, is the Echo Spot, simply because it has a spherical design and a circular display, which offers an interesting user experience, which we will once again touch on a little later in this video. The second category we're going to be going over is audio quality, and to be honest, it didn't take me too long to differentiate each one or kind of rank them in terms of, best to worst audio quality. At the very least, these speakers are just good enough to listen to some music, and at the very best are pretty decent and will get you by no problem. With no surprise, the biggest of these devices comes in first. The Google Home Hub offers a pretty decent music listening experience with a little bit of bass, a lot of sound clarity, and a lot of volume. I was really impressed with what it delivered. In second place came its little brother, the Google Home Mini, which I think was a little quieter than its bigger brother, but it still had similar sound quality and clarity, and a little bit of bass too. In third place came the Echo Dot, which kind of sounds a little like underwater. I mean, if you're listening to it like isolated by itself, it doesn't sound half bad, but when comparing them, the upper end sound like treble parts kind of sound a little drowned out, but it does have decent bass if you like that. And in fourth place came the Echo Spot, which doesn't sound as submerged, but is a little quieter than the Dot, which I don't think is a big surprise because it has to pack a speaker in the bottom of its base. It was really hard to actually place the Spot and the Dot, so I guess I would say they're interchangeable depending on how you look at them. But once again, the Hub wins this contest, no questions asked. But I will tell you that the Amazon devices once again offer a headphone jack. So all in all, Amazon offers you a little more control, whereas Google offers you higher quality audio. The third category we're going over is responsiveness, and from what I can tell, after using these devices in multiple different conditions and environments, they're all really snappy. But after a lot of testing, I did come to the conclusion that Google devices are a tad bit faster than that of Amazon devices, maybe a half a second or so. And after pulling out a stopwatch, I finally boiled it down to a singular winner. I believe it's the Google Home Mini by a very small margin, simply because I think it doesn't have to load up any visuals, which the Google Home Hub has to. So if it's important to you to have your questions answered immediately, maybe the Google Home Mini is the right device for you. The fourth category simply has to do with the AI you're interacting with, whether it's Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa. And from what I can tell, generally, they're both equally reliable and responsive. But what I can say is I do think Google Assistant does sound more natural as it's been in the game a little longer. And I'm pretty certain that there are some situations where Google is better suited to answer your question than that of Amazon, because obviously Google has access to, google.com, whereas Amazon, I think it's kind of ambiguous. They kind of do what they do. Their database, I believe, is not as big. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know, but I do believe that Google is a little more qualified to win this round, so I'm gonna have to give it to the Google Home Hub and the Google Home Mini. The fifth category we're going over is interface, and for this round I have to exclude the Google Home Mini and the Echo Dot simply because they only have verbal input. Amazon and Google do offer great UIs with their displayed smart home devices, but what I will say is there are some striking differences which may make or break a particular device for you. To begin with the Google Home Hub, the interface is rectangular. It's kind of boring, but it is feature-packed. It has nice animations, and it is centered around media consumption, especially with YouTube and some news sites, as it has a regular aspect ratioed display. In contrast, in my opinion, the Spot offers a more exciting user experience with its circular aspect ratio display. It's awesome when displaying clock faces and when scrubbing through music in the Spotify app, but it makes for kind of a weird time when you want to consume non-optimized content, especially like YouTube videos or news videos. You can zoom in, but it's just kind of interesting the way it pops up. I would not recommend this device if you want to watch a lot of video, but you can do it with this device, and it does it fairly well. In short, although the Google Home Hub is less exciting than the Spot, it is more useful because it packs more features. It has a larger display, you get that Google card view, and you can consume content without any weird cropping. So because of that, it wins this category. Oh, and before I forget to mention, you can order things off of Amazon with the Echo devices. I think that's a really unique feature, once again, which may make you consider the Amazon devices over the Google devices, especially if you're really invested in buying things from Amazon's warehouse frequently. It's super convenient. You can just add things to your cart or straight up buy things if you have Amazon Prime. So keep that in mind. This might win you over to Team Amazon when buying a smart home device. The sixth and final category is communication, and while you can call people with all four of these devices, for example, you can ask Alexa and the Google Assistant to call actual numbers or establishments, I would say Amazon's devices edge out Google's because you can send audio messages between Echo devices, so you can just send somebody an audio message without even touching your phone or anything. You can't really do that with your Google Home Hub or Mini, but more importantly, the device that wins this category entirely and obviously is the Echo Spot with its front-facing camera, which enables you to make video calls. I think it's super futuristic and convenient. So if you are really particular about communication and say you want to, video chat with your family or friends who might have Echo devices as well. By the way, you can also video chat people with the app. That's kind of how I did it with my B-roll. This is the device for you, and its front-facing camera is why it wins this category by a long shot. So to wrap things up, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Google Home Hub wins this comparison as it wins 3 categories, one with the Google Home Mini. Does it mean it's the best device to buy? I wouldn't say so, but it definitely offers a lot for your money, considering its display and the speaker quality. But once again, these are my subjective opinions. I can only hope that you have learned something, of the nuances between these devices, which will help you decide which one is best for you and better qualify your purchasing decision. So this has been a brutal video. I've been standing here for like an hour screwing up talking about these 4 devices. This is a first for me. I've never talked about 4 devices simultaneously. Hopefully I did a good job. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like, comment if you have any questions or suggestions, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, I'm Noah. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I will catch you all in the next one.